Hey guys, what's cracking? Godsman here. Today, we've got ourselves another time of custom card season. That's right. It's that time of year again, or month, or whatever the hell you want to use as your interval of time. It's custom card time. And with me, of course, I got Nabs, because no custom card review would be complete without the main man here. How you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing fine. I slept at 6 a.m.
Wait, yeah, me too. Except we have very different time zones, so those are very different times. I don't even know what 6 a.m. for me is relative to you. Anyway, let's go ahead and just get with some of the lowdown, right? For you guys who are veterans of the channel and have seen these videos, you know how it goes, right? I ask for custom cards. People deliver. I don't care what format it is. I read them. We talk about how inventive they are and how realistic they are and whether or not they seem to adhere to any particular theming in a meaningful way. Also, gave a warning beforehand. These are going to be on video, so boom, that's going to be the case. Oh, and of course, one final thing, as you can see down here at the bottom of the post, we're going to be doing some custom card battles. That's not going to be all the cards here. Only some of them, probably just the ones that we really resonate with the most, and of course they would have to share the same format, so that's also kind of a matchmaking process in of itself. So yeah, look forward to some of that content after we get through the custom card season here, because there's going to be a few of these videos reviewing these cards. We got a lot, and I love that. It means the community here is really jumping on the opportunity, and there's a lot of creative stuff to be seen. And without any further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so, just to show that I'm actually learning and get a little more sophisticated with it, I sorted by old this time around, so that whoever posted first gets to be reviewed first. It's only fair. So we've got Direct Farmer, and so he jumped to the gun with a Ammon reverse, or rather what he would like to have, because technically we did have a V retrain of this thing already. So, what does he do? Well, first effect, continuous. During your turn, this unit gains 1000 power for every card in your soul and 1 critical for every 6 cards in the opponent's soul. Alright. Continuous. All cards with Ammon in its name gain 5000 shield, active on the opponent's turn as well. Alright. Auto once per turn. When this unit attacks, lock 2 of your rear guards with Ammon in their card names. The opponent chooses 2 cards from the hand, drop, and field to send to the soul. Choose a card out of those cards sent to the soul, and the opponent can't guard with the grade of the chosen card until the end of that battle. So, of course, a few little grammar things here, but conceptually, I mean, this is kind of cool, right? It basically takes Ammon Reverse into more of a guard restrict finisher type, as opposed to the regular Ammon, which is also a resource hog, but then he just gets big, and that's about that. Ammon Reverse almost kind of just does what Ammon does, but more.
Better.
It's just kind of like a power creep, yeah?
The only thing I would have done different here is maybe make it require the original Ammon in some way. So as to not completely power creep the motherfucker out. But yeah. But other than that, I like it. It's a Gastille replacement. It's a Gastille replacement with Ammon name. It doesn't get any better than that, honestly.
Yeah, one thing about this too that is, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of weird. Is it's funny to have your finisher also have a defensive skill, right? So it's like as if Ammon Reverse is meant to be the complete package. You ride onto it and sit with it, which I guess historically speaking is how Ammon decks work. Once Reverse came out, you just sit on the cross ride and try to nutrition the hell out of the opponent, and that was the game plan. It wasn't that good of a game plan, but it was your game plan at the time. So maybe this is harkening back to the original design philosophy of Ammon Reverse with how decks did it. I think it's a pretty cool card. Maybe a little bit just blatantly better than the original, but sometimes some reverses did that, right? Like Vowing Saber Reverse was just better than Vowing Sword, right? Although I think in most cases there should be some amount of trade-off, right? Like Vowing Saber was not that well designed of a card. He's the exception rather than the norm, right? Like I think a better designed card would be something like Raging Fall, right? Where Raging Fall had a higher ceiling, but you had to pay a lot more cost to it. And it also had just a different way in which you would use your units as opposed to Raging Form. You would still sacrifice units, but sacrificing them by locking them, which was a huge difference. So it just felt different that way. Any final thoughts on Fenrir and Amon reverse here?
This gonna sound weird, but this card is not piece reliant enough, quote unquote. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like I would have, relegated some parts of this card to its support. But other than that, it's fine. I like the idea.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I think the guard restrict here is fairly inventive, which is good because V tends to be rather samey at the end of the day. All right, so yeah, good on you, mate. You did pretty well with that one. All right, Dynaphage.
Oh boy.
We know this man very well.
He's still using the old VTEX too, because right now they say when the is placed on Vanguard Circle, but this one it says Vanguard Circle when placed.
Oh yeah, okay. Which I guess we're gonna get into right now. So Tachikaze V series, because look at that, it's a Tachikaze tag, and if you guys are on the Reddit, you probably have seen Dynaphage once or twice, and the guy is kind of a mainstay in the entire community. So, weaponized Hell Dragon Fortress Stego, rather. Just usual allotment for what you would expect a grade 3 Tachi to have for stats. Auto on Van, win place, discard 1 card. Search your deck for 1 card with Stego in its card name and call it to rear circle. Shuffle your deck. If you're on 4 or more damage, which is to say, limit break, you may call 1 card with Stego in its card name from your drop zone to rear circle. Strangely familiar to what V Clean Sleep felt like. Auto on Van Circle. Once per turn, if your rear guard is retired during the main phase, countercharge 1 and add that rear guard to your hand. Continuous on Van Circle. If 3 or more of your rear guards were retired this turn, all units with Stego in its card name gain boost. I just have to say this. I'm a Stegosaurus. Okay.
Okay.
So you go first.
Honestly, for a name as cool as Hell Stegosaurus. Yeah, hold on. Let me see the proper name. Weaponized Hell Dragon Fortress Stego, right? For a name as cool as that, this effect is kind of blasé.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There is a little bit of swag factor in your Vanguard having the ability to recycle sacrifice Tachi cards. Like, that's cool. But I'm a little bit back and forth with it, right? Because this is one of those bosses where they're not the end goal of the deck, but rather just a facilitator type, right? We've seen it with a lot of bosses. Gigano Blazer feels like a facilitator boss rather than like the end means. You have other kind of cards like Vowing Sword, which is a facilitator sort of unit. You don't really stick on him for very long. This guy's the same. He feels like he just kind of keeps plays going, and it's your rear guard Stegos that are going to do all the damage, because all he does is just gain advantage on resources. That's basically what he does. He just helps build your formation and complete it. That's what it is. One thing that's a little bit giving me pause is, considering what Olul ended up being, I don't really dig the concept of a free countercharge every turn from your Vanguard, but this is, I mean, I want to say this is Tachi's and this is fine, right? But it's like, that's kind of a dangerous thing.
I am more curious to see, like, this is the kind of card where I have to see the support in order to charge it more on concept. Because I don't really get, I don't really understand this card, honestly.
You know what? I'll take advantage of the fact that I've got Chrome open. Let's take a journey, everyone. Tachikaze Stegosaurus. Stego.
Tachikaze has always been one of those clans that rely on being peace reliant, which is is good because Axel decks tend to be peace reliant because it's an Axel deck.
So we've got 2 Stegos. Sharp Blade Dragon refill Stego. Act Van or Rear. You counterblast one and retire another rear, and all of your Sharon Stego and Breathless Stego on Van or Rear get 10,000 power. So basically, you see being retired to buff up the other two Stegos. And what is Sharon's Stego? I can't say these names. These Stegos have weird names. Counterblast one, retire rear. All of your.
The same thing.
It's the same effect. Oh, okay. So
Same
what
thing.
you've essentially made is a beatdown deck. Okay. I'm actually a little. I haven't actually looked these things up beforehand. I'm a little bit whelmed on what Stegos do. So yeah, you just build the Stego formation, and then yeah, you countercharge and return it. So it essentially makes the first Stego effect free. And then because everything is grade 2 and above, you essentially give them the ability to boost so that you can still get big columns. I mean, at the very least, he was pretty good about figuring out what a boss supporting Stegos would do. I kind of like that. Maybe if you gave Stegos a crit here and there, that'd be kind of nice, just to make them feel more threatening, because there's no multi-attack or guard trick going around. But yeah, overall, I think it's got some inventive aspects, even if the overall strategy feels blasé. You got any final comments on this one?
It's alright, but I want to see more support for this thing.
Well, one final thing. Did this even need to have limit break? Seems kind of weird to throw limit break on this one, but hey, I like limit break.
Right? Like, usually limit break effects tend to be more explosive, like, you know, like more blessing or, you know, more attacks. But this is just minimal blessing. That's it.
It's just get another Stego. But still, I kind of like the idea with this, but I'm gonna go with you on it. We just need to see more cards to see the game plan develop. All right, so Panda Potatoes, mask unit from one of my favorite D decks, Bastion Mask. It's another Bastion mask. Seen a couple of these from the custom mask card post I made a while back.
Oh boy.
Okay, so what does he do? Standard stats, nothing new here. Continuous, gonna be written on a card with Bastion's name. So I don't know if this guy put it without grade 3 because he thinks you can write down, but you can't write down. So if you're on Bastion Prime, that's it. You're stuck there unless something weird happens and makes you write down. Continuous on Van, once per turn. When a grade 3 is revealed during your drive check, you remove a card with Bastion's name that is different from this card from hand, soul, or drop, okay? Stand 2 grade 3 rear guards, or retire 2 grade 3 rear guards. Stand one of your Vanguards, and those units gain 10,000 power until end of turn. If a Vanguard was restood, drive -1. Second skill, continuous on Van. Wow, these are,
There's a lot of effects.
yeah, not only is that, but I just want to quickly point out that this should be an auto because it's triggering out when a grade 3 is revealed during your drive check. It's not a continuous effect. Continuous on Van once per turn. After the battle of this unit attacked, when a grade 3 unit is retired, cost Counterblast 2. Call 2 grade 3 units from hand to stand. The called units get power plus 5k for every 3 grade 3 on the field. If there are 6 or more grade 3 units, the front row gets +1 critical. Whoa. By the way, also not a continuous effect. I'm gonna assume that he typoed and these are meant to be autos. You go first because you're more of a Bastion goon than I am, despite me being a Keter guy.
Funny enough, I'm not even gonna comment from a Bastion main perspective, but rather from a guy who has seen too many mask a mask game perspective. This guy kind of contradicts a lot of masks. Like, it's too much even for a mask unit.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume that he either restands 2 rear guards or stands the Vanguard again, but and then you get the second effect if you're retired for the stand the Vanguard thing, which just gets you 2 more multi-attacks anyway.
Like, for one thing, the removal effect should be an act that pluses you in some sort of capacity. Like, I like the idea of restanding the Vanguard instead of the rear guard, right? You know, a selfish Bastion. Well, who would have thought, right?
Mind blowing.
Like, it's a pretty good idea, but like the execution leans on being too much.
Right. And like I really like that you brought up the remove effect not being supportive, but just like a part of your main strategy. Like your main effect is on a remove effect. That's not that great. I mean, I get that Bastion Prime removed a copy of Bastion to get the restand here, but we're not going based off of Bastion Prime. We're going based on the trend that Mass had. Like, it would be more appropriate for a Persona remove effect to probably get you a grade 3 unit from either drop or maybe peep 7 of deck, something like that, right? Recouping a resource because you need grade 3 formation.
Like, don't get me wrong, right? Like, I once also misdesigned one of my mass card, Flagbird mass. I was like, oh, let's make this a part of my main effect, and then I realized I'm not supposed to do that.
Right? Yeah. We were talking about that at some point where I was like, I feel like that's not right. I mean, it was a pretty good card overall, but yeah, that was like the one king. Another thing I want to bring up about this, right? So I do like the idea of restanding the Vanguard, but you shouldn't get rear guard restands if you're trying to restand the Vanguard instead, right? You should commit to the different way of playing if you're going to go that way with it, right? You shouldn't like try to go in between the lines with it, more or less. Like, maybe there could be a way of doing it, but I'm not seeing it right now. Like Leonorn, for instance, right? Leonorn is just a straight upgrade, but you have to sacrifice power to get the front row restand. In this case, you don't get a front row restand, but you do get like a Vanguard restand. However, this dude took it overboard because not only do you get more front row attacks with these effects, and you get more Vanguard attack, which is already more than what Bastion could previously do, he still gets the 10k. That's a no-no. You shouldn't be having that much power, in all honesty, because that's what Prime does already. It's a straight power creep. So you have to draw the line somewhere. But I do really like the concept. I also do dig that it does have a CB2 skill to give crits to units, because I think giving crits on Bastion is a cool way of doing it, because, he already has multi-attack, and Battledore feels a little bit lame. Giving crits, though, is good, because oftentimes what's the problem with Bastion is the opponent will budget their damage, and then, like, you'll restand, right? They'll PG the Vanguard or whatever, and you'll restand your field. But then you look at them, and they've got only 3 damage. So even if you swing twice at them with 70 plus K power, they just go to 5 and kill you on the next turn. That doesn't feel great. So this does address that problem pretty nicely. I do appreciate that. Kind of rough around the edges, but I mean, it seemed like the concept is there, but there's a lot of flaws.
Honestly, I'm not even too big on the crit effect. I honestly would take. I think the crit is honestly kind of too much. I would honestly take a retire effect, because Bastion doesn't have those.
Yeah, that's fair. I think a retire effect could also work for Bastion. I mean, they've been throwing retires to some mask units, like with Leonorn and Dradril and stuff, and I have to say, they do matter a fair bit. They're kind of cool. Plus, retiring the opponent's rears when the deck originally didn't do that, it feels more antagonistic, which is what masks are at the end of the day, so it feels flavorful. So, yeah, cool concept, poor execution, but I like the idea here. Okay, so, This guy's got a few things to talk about. So, to quote him, an idea for a whole ass Keter deck I tried to invent. Better to share it here than leave it to rot. I agree. Okay, so Soul Sword Justicar Alexandris. Flavor text, stats. Act on Van. Van act. Okay. Once per turn. Cost. Put a card from hand into the Soul. Soul Sword. Search your deck for up to 1 Soul Sword order. Reveal it and put it in your hand and shuffle your deck. Van auto. When it attacks, Soul Blast 1 or more cards. Activate one of the following effects based on the sum of the grades of the card Soul Blast for this card. If you Soul Blast at least 1, draw a card. If grades were 2, this unit gets a crit. Grades 3, this unit gets a drive. 4, all of your units get 5,000 in a turn. Draw 2 cards. So keep in mind, just for the low price of Soul Blasting a 3 and a 1, you can draw 3. 5. Your Vanguard gets auto Van once per turn. At the end of the battle, it attacked. If you have 4 or more cards in your damage zone, so it's a limit break in standard now. Retire 3 rear guards and discard 2 cards. Stand this unit until end of turn. So, but there's more. We gotta let's wait until we read the other Sword Soul stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god.
I told you there is reading. So let's read. Radiance Blast, which it's very close to sounding like a movement trails. Grade 1 set order. Soul Sword, Order Zone. When your Vanguard with Alexandris in its name attacks, you may put this card into your soul. Okay, so you get a grade 1 in the soul for free. When this card is put into the drop from the soul by the ability of your Vanguard with Alexandris in a card name, choose one of your opponent's front row rear circle. Retire the unit on that circle. Your Vanguard gets power plus 5,000 power in end of turn. How handy. You can get rid of their locks for them. Ornament Repose. Grade 2 Blitz Order. It's a Blitz Order. Counterblast 1 to play this if you have an Alexandris Vanguard. Your Vanguard gets plus 10,000 to end a battle. Look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put them on the top of the deck in any order, and draw card. When this card is put in to drop from soul by the ability of your Vanguard with Alexandris, you may put in your... Oh, we're not done yet. I know you're suffering.
Oh god.
Hold on. Replica's Farce, Soul's Justice. Great name, 10 out of 10 on that. Grade 3 normal order. Okay, so this feels remarkably like how Blue Dester had their orders going on. Soul Sword. Counterblast 1 to play if you got an Alexandris. Look at top 5. Choose up to 2 units from among them. Call them to rear. God, I wish Youthberg plus this much. Shuffle your deck. Put this card into your soul. When this card is put into the drop from soul by the ability of your Vanguard with Alexandris in its card name, you may soul blast any number of grade 0 cards in your soul. For each grade 0 soul blasted, counter charge 1. It keeps going. Sword Soul Inheritance. Arthas. Cool flavor, text, and name. I really like the idea here, but the effect. Rear circle, auto. At the end of the battle, your Vanguard with Alexandris' card name attack. Wow, I have to have an Alexandris Vanguard? Who would have thought? You may look at top 3 cards of your deck. This unit gets 5k until end of turn. Okay. Second effect. At the end of the battle, it attacks. Soul Blast 1 and send 2 rear guards in the same column as this unit to the bottom of the deck. Look at 3 cards at the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them the same grade as the card Soul Blast for this ability's cost. Call to an open rear circle, and it gets 10k. So we have this sort of weird mix of Machine Gun Gloria and Ganslot Zenith. Sword Soul Squire Amlis. More cool stuff. Alex.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, all good. Alex is, so apparently they're on a first name basis with the Chad Alexandris. Front row rear circle auto. When it attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Alexandris in its card name, put a card from hand to soul. Okay, cool. We can finally... Oh, wait, never mind. Draw a card. I was about to say we can finally neg. No, we don't. And this unit gets +5 until end of turn. Back row rear circle.
Oh, God.
When it boosts, you may put a sword soul from drop into soul. If you do, the boosted unit gets +5k to end of turn. That,
Please stop.
That's it.
No more.
That,
No. No more.
Wow. Jesus, dude. This would, if this and Gondiva encounter each other in the shower, Gondiva would bend the soap and never be the same again. Oh, that's... Where do I even begin? Right? Okay, you know what? I'll begin with the Vanguard. This Vanguard is so free and pluses so much. Like, let's put this in the concept. You can search for any order from the deck every turn. What's up?
Let me clarify that you don't get to activate all the effects. It just says activate one of the effects before.
Yeah, but
yeah,
you know what you can do? You can straight up draw 2 cards.
Mm-hmm.
You can draw 2 cards, bro, and all of your units get 5,000 power. Bro,
the Soul Blast 4 grades effect is so good. Like, why would you ever Soul Blast 5?
Bro, I mean, I guess you only Soul Blast 5 if you need to kill that turn. Like, if Pot of Greed wouldn't save you from the devastation of Greed on after OT or something.
No wonder we need this much plussing. Bro, no wonder we need this much plussing. Number 5 fucking -5. and
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like this is kind of interesting because you do get like a lot of different effects, and having to choose one is cool. But then I look at it, I'm just like, why do we even have this many choices? Something like, who draws a card? Like, seriously, are you really going to be that down in the dumps to draw a card? Like, it's almost as if you would probably have a progressional type thing, right? Where you would make it counterblast and soul blast multiples, and you would be able to get effects based on where you're at. Like, for instance, you could make it soul blast one or more cards, and instead of grades, it's just cards in general. And then the one effect would be crit, soul blast 2 cards would be drive, and keep in mind I put a counterblast to this, and soul blast 3 would be this effect, right? That seems better. You know, that seems better. You already get the extra drive. Maybe at that point make the drive until end of turn. And that way you get better with it. I don't know. That it feels like it has redundant choices, you know?
Wait a minute, hold on. The restand skill is once per turn, but not the when it attacks skill.
Oh! Oh snap!
Oh god!
So.
Oh god, Josh!
Wait,
that's once per turn.
You can keep this. You can keep doing this. You could just keep giving it that effect again. Oh
hell no!
I came in here thinking it was Keter. It ended up being Draconic Overlord.
Draconic Overlord, the Keter Sanctuary.
Draconic Overlord, the Soul Sword.
God, dude, you need. Okay, you know what? I like how it's trying to, you know, Genesis things up, but I feel like there should be. I feel like there should be a better goal to work towards, as opposed to just soul blast that many grades, right? Because you know they tried to do something with Astroya, right? And in Astroya's case, they built her up using crits, right? And that's a pretty good goal.
like I think,
but this it's something. Just.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but this is just Soul Blast great. It's so easy and so abusable that it's not even funny.
Now, what I will say though is the flavor of it is really cool, because this is a good reaction to the recent wave of order support that Keter randomly got. So it's cool to see more of an order-based Keter strategy. It's very topical. And one thing he could have done instead, right, as a bit of advice, because I really think this could have worked so well. It feel like I don't see artworks, of course, but I can almost visualize it in my head, and it's epic. Is instead of Soul Blast based on grades, Soul Blast number of orders specifically. That would be cooler, right? Orders are harder to get into Soul unless you're doing your own dex gimmick, which is what you're supposed to do anyway. And of course, your orders have different effects when they're Soul Blasted out, which kind of feels almost Genesee in its own way. Maybe even do something to where they can't be that abusable, and boom, you've got its own very unique way of going about it. I actually do like the concept of these orders and what they do kind of well. This one is a bit busted by being a free Leopold 5 for 2 call thing. One of the things that's so one of the things that's so free. Yeah, it doesn't end, right? It just doesn't end. So balance these out a little bit more, but I do like it. I do dig soul blasting orders, and if you were to make that the specific thing and make your deck revolve around that and tame it, you have something amazing here. Like, I almost want to have this be one of the things that we test for custom card battles. If we see another standard ride line that feels pretty similarly over the top, I might go for it, to be frank. I might play this.
Oh god, no, please. It's so much blessing. I don't want to suffer, bro.
It's okay. I'll get rid of all my plussing for this skill repeatedly. You don't have to worry.
Oh god.
I'll deck myself out.
Kill me faster, please. Yeah, kill me faster, why don't you?
Alright, so overall, honestly, sick ass concept, no balance.
my my advice is to tone it the fuck down.
Tone it down. But in terms of concept, this is my favorite concept so far.
Yeah. It's oh god. I moving on.
Moving on.
Hey.
We said our thing. So hey, it's Deadstream again.
It's
I
the
like
bro.
this guy.
It's the broski, bro. Fuck.
homie.
It's the green on player.
So knowing what I know about him,
Is
this
he the green on player?
Oh yeah, he's the Greedon Goon. He's everyone's favorite Greedon Goon, in fact. Now I'm going to assume that it's going to be a Dark States, whatever he's doing here. I kind of cheated by looking at this, and it does sound like a Dark States thing, because he is also a Dark States guy. Go frickin' figure. So I can't believe it's that time again already. Last time, entered a new unit for Overdress, center around attack with your Guardians. Oh yeah, you did that thing. I remember that. Another new boss unit, extra card, that would be cool. So it's a Vampire Knight type ride line. That's sick. Absolutely cool. So let's do it. Crestfallen Herald of Claret. Let's start. Claret Sword of Dragon. Death is merely an inconvenience, for which I'm fueled by singular hatred of you. Wow. 10 out of 10 for Dark Irregular dialogue. That's amazing. Stats are as they are. It's a vampire and everything. That's cool. A continuous on Van. If you have more damage than your opponent. Oh. I think I can already see the Greedon influence. This unit gains 5k power and auto Van once per turn. When this unit attacks, place a card from your soul into your damage zone. This unit battles all of your opponent's units in the front row. Active on opponent's turn 2. Wow, okay.
What?
Oh! What? Fascinating! Ah.
Wait, how are you even gonna time that? Wait, what? How are you even gonna time that?
So, I guess this is a little bit weird because it should say when this unit would declare an attack, because you have to select on attack declaration what you're declaring the attack on. Because usually with these kind of effects, they would be act effects, so that by the time you enter battle, you already have that in effect. So this one's being a little bit weird. So he could just in fact make this an act effect. As what the effect he gains, and there you go. It's simple solve. So it's a little bit of a technical error, but it's not that bad. It's not certainly something we can't navigate past. One thing that's cool is he's essentially made MLB now, because as long as you're a higher damage than the opponent, 5k power. I kind of like this because your opponent has a very simple way of shutting this off with it, which is get to ultimate break as well. They have a very simple way of shutting that off, which is, it's cool, it's flavorful, you know. It reminds me of Blood. Blood. For all of you Shadowverse players, Blood is based on hurting themselves a lot, so it feels similar, but he's actually got more effects. So auto and Van, when a card is placed in your damage zone during your turn, okay, specifically during your turn, good. Soul Blast 1. Your opponent may choose a back row rear circle and place an ectoplasm marker on it. Oh boy, now there's an ectoplasm marker. Remove all ectoplasm markers from the field at the end of your opponent's next turn.
Okay. Interesting balance.
That's cool. Auto once per turn on Van Circle, because it's a Vanguard. When your opponent's rear guard attacks, you may discard a card and send cards from your damage zone to Guardian Circle equal to the number of ectoplasm markers on opponent's RC. Send all rear guards with ectoplasm markers to the soul and remove all ectoplasm markers from the field. If no cards were sent to soul, draw a card and soul charge 1. Whoa. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. So for one thing, you heal for every ectoplasm marker. What?
You heal and you also remove the rear guards.
Yeah, you remove the rear guards. Even if you don't remove the rear guards, you can just draw and soul charge 1.
Oh, that's so annoying. What the fuck?
That's pretty creepy. So, wait, that means that when he places a card from soul into the damage zone, this auto skill then activates to give an ectoplasm marker. And then when the rear guard attacks, he does this effect and he heals it out. So effectively, he's not actually taking damage in the long term.
Wow.
That's interesting. That's not even busted either, because there's theoretically, I mean, I don't know if it's busted or not, but there's theoretically like kind of an out there, because sure, he can get rid of a card, but he's only getting rid of one at a time. He's not healing out multiples because he's only damaging himself once with the effect when he attacks. That's it. He can only do it once. So he's only healing out that one, so he's not actually healing down. That's cool. It's not Raphael. It's a defense card. And then you can also, what's the name of it? Defeat Flare? Is that the one that gets rid of back row as a G Guardian?
Yeah, Defeat Flare.
Defeat Flare? Yeah, so he defeat flares. Your opponent also gets to choose where the marker goes. That's cool. I like that. Cool. Yeah, your opponent can actually choose to put it on, like, say, behind the Vanguard circle or something, just wherever he doesn't want there to be a rear guard, so that you don't get rid of any of their rear guards, and he just instead draws some soul charges. You also, but if you do give him a rear guard, he has to discard a card from hand and keep that discard without drawing. Fascinating. I like this. What about you?
I have no thoughts, honestly.
Huh.
So, it's a bit too out there for me to say anything.
I think the ectoplasm aspect of it kind of goes beyond the scope of what a single Vanguard should do, because he's already got this other stuff going on. I like the concepts here, though. It's a little bit jumbled together, but as far as defensive strategies go, this is fascinating. I do like it, and it also has a little bit of a power boost. I don't know what your finisher power is. You probably don't have finisher power, and that's the inconvenience with it. But there's so much potential with the concepts here, and I dig it, and it's definitely composed fairly well. Like, this sort of first effect to me is kind of brilliant. It's kind of brilliant. Like, hell, you could also do an effect where instead of doing ectoplasm stuff, you could do an effect similar to, what's the name of that Regalia? Not Angelica, it's the other one, the one that heals at the end of the opponent's turn by getting rid of 5 equip gauges. What was her name?
Frigg.
Yeah, you could do a thing at the end of the opponent's turn where you could, like, pitch 2 cards or something, or do something and heal a card from your damage zone, right? And that way you might be able to heal down every turn, although that feels a little angel feathery. Yeah, that's trippy.
Oh, it's Frag, not Frigg. Alright, whatever.
Yeah. General strategy is to guard early, stay at 0 to 1 damage as much as possible, then go off at grade 3. Right difficult deck to play with the right deck building a good player can be pretty decent. Yeah, it has no finishing power, but it definitely has the annoying stay in the game power. Definitely, if you could find a way to get your personas pretty consistently, bring it back with, say, Miloslava, you can then consistently go into clean sweep, and everyone hates clean sweep. So maybe you got something there. He has another card, though. It's a Desire Devil, because why the hell would it not be Desire Devil? He couldn't help but give a little support for Greed on Mask. Desire Devil Rest Show. This 100% sounds like the name of a Desire Devil. I like that. Grade 3. Auto on rear. I do appreciate a good grade 3 potentially, because you can do the new Regardless piece, the one with the glasses waifu. Auto on rear circle. When this unit attacks, if your Vanguard is Greed on Mass, hey look, it's the first card to say Greed on Mass specifically. F you, original Greed on.
What a reversal! Amazing reversal, bro.
It's not reverse. It's Mask.
It's Mask.
Choose up to 1 normal unit with Desire Devil in its name from your drop. What?
Sorry. Actually, no. This is Patrick.
No, this is Patrick. Choose up to 1 normal unit with Desire Devil. Yes, Snaps.
I'm sorry. It's actually Dudley Emperor reverse, because reverse Stampede.
For every card in your damage zone,
go ahead.
And place them on the bottom of your deck, then shuffle your deck. During the battle of this unit attacked, if you send 4 or more cards, it battles all units in the column. Woo! That's cool.
Whoa.
It recycles cards. Yeah,
Yo.
That's cool. And it's got
That's not bad.
That's good. I like that. So essentially, this in combination with Clean Sweep can field wipe and recycle for you while you're doing it.
It's a T-Rex Desire Devil. Cool. Dealing with the devil.
Even if I have to fight with the
Akbar.
forbidden power by my side.
Forbidden power on my side. No one can never know.
But yeah, 10 out of 10. I've got absolutely no complaints. This is perfect. This is actually perfect.
That's
this
amazing.
is the best card I've seen so far tonight. I love this card.
Oh god.
I want this.
He has one more. He has one more.
He has.
That better be a fucking double R, by the way, in this set.
Oh wait. Oh, he has other stuff for the Vampire Knight.
Oh god.
Oh. Oh, he has other stuff. Okay, cool.
Oh god. Nah, I'm not gonna comment on any of this.
Oh, I'll comment on this then. In case you want to use the deck in custom battles, hey, I just mined at this point. Crestfallen Thaumaturge. Act rear. If your van has Crestfallen in his name, counterblast 1, deal 1 damage to your Vanguard. Oh, so we're rescue checking a little bit. Search your deck for up to 1 card with Crestfallen in its name and either add it to your hand or send it to the soul. So you CB1 and deal a damage. Gotcha. Oh crap, but that means you can. That means you get another ectoplasm marker by soul blasting one. Ah crap. Okay, these ectoplasm markers are a little crazy.
Oh god.
Yeah, okay, the ectoplasm marker gaining effect is not once per turn. Ooh, Crestfallen Cutthroat Jester. When it boosts, you can send this unit to the damage zone and give the boosted units plus 15,000 power. Oh, that's kind of neat. Auto Guardian Circle. When this unit is placed, reveal a Crestfallen card from your hand. It gains 10,000 shield. Okay. So this is a 15k shielder.
Cool.
Dante. Cool. Are you going to mill 3 Burning Abyss for your effect? So it gets an auto rear with this continuous rear. If you have more damage than your opponent, this unit gets 10k, and when it hits, you may draw a card. Okay. Auto on rear again. When it attacks, you can counterblast 2 and remove a less stop from your hand. Choose a triggered unit in your damage zone. Activate its trigger effect. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, that's neat. So you neg 1, like permanently, and it has to be a Lestat, which is the big guy. But you get to trigger a card, and it's when it attacks. Huh. But it is its trigger effects. So
I'm glad I don't have to talk about any of these cards.
I think now the ectoplasm marker might be a bit of a thing. I don't know about that. I feel like maybe you need a little bit more consequence when it comes to taking damage. I like the fact that you can heal him down. This requires playtesting. I think I might playtest this. Just to see if this is busted or not, because this is either really busted or it's actually really cool and interesting. I don't know if I actually have the intelligence to understand if these markers are just simple break-evens on stuff and it's not a big complaint, or if it's actually the devil. Well, a vampire devil. So I'm just gonna leave this as sick-ass design, and you actually do have good grasp on play balance stuff. These actually feel like Overdress cards, you know? I do dig that. Especially with the CB2 being as costly as it is. That makes sense. It's appropriate. Although you can just get rid of the cards. But, yeah. Really cool stuff here. This Devil needs to be printed since yesterday. I love it. Okay. RPG Master. Precaution. I came with a lot. You're so good, honey. Oh, and it starts with the Revenger. Oh, you're so good, honey. Okay, True Phantom Revenger. Dragwuller Phantasm. His Noble Phantasm. Grade 4 G unit. We have a premium unit finally. All right, let's see what this is.
Oh, wait. Isn't this the card that retires one to call a great one from your deck?
That would be Dragwuller Revenant. Okay, so auto on Van Circle once per turn. You counterblast 1 and flip up any G unit and retire all of your rear guards. Ooh, okay, this is already getting good. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, for every rear guard retired this effect, it gets 5,000 power and end of turn. If you retired 3 or more, it gets crit and drive. Then, for every face-up card in your G zone, call up to 2 cards from your deck to rear circle, and those cards gets 3k power until end of turn. Ooh. Okay, okay. I'm digging it so far. Auto advance circle once per turn, generation break 2. Damn well better be generation break 2, considering that this is kind of a finisher.
Josh, no. I read the rest of the effect. Josh. No. Stay away.
At the no, I must. It's a Revenger. After the end of the battle where this unit attacked, if you have a hard card with Mortar or Dracula in its card name, stand.
I warned you.
Wait, hold on a second. I warned you. Is the stuff until end of turn? Hey, you want to know something? This would probably only be decent in Modern Premium. That's how effed up that format is right now.
This is like bro. This thing straight up power creeps Crocrowatch. At least Crocrowatch is generic, but like, come on.
Oh yeah, that's right. For being a Revenger, this doesn't even need Revengers at all, other than for hard card to do Mortar or Dracula. What the hell? Okay. Continuous on Van Circle, Generation Break 3. More Generation Breaks. Oh goody. For every rear guard retired this turn, all of your front row units get 5,000 power. So, what I'm hearing is you wipe out your field of 5, you flip up for it. So, now what you do is you can call like 3, maybe 4 rear guards from the deck, right? So they're like so you just have a couple units in the front row, but you retire like say 5. That's 25,000 power to the front row, and that includes this guy. You already got plus 5,000 power. It's a critical. It's also got a drive and swing twice with that. Oh man. Cool. Oh man. You want to know something? I actually like this a lot because it just goes to show that Premium has gone this far. It really, like, I don't even think this would be meta. Isn't that so sad? Like, I don't think this would be meta. But it's really, it just looks so dumb on paper. Like, wow. Like, oh, you know the thing that gets me? This effect. What? This effect needed to have more stipulations and cost to it. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
If that wasn't like, for instance, it would had to, let's say, counterblast and discard 3. I think that might be fine. That might be better because you're not getting another plus bajillion to the hand. Like this power effect, that's actually fine for Premium. Really big numbers is fine. I mean, it's something that Dragapus Luard hasn't already done. Resetting your field is totally fine, and getting power and drive, that's amicable. It's what we should expect. It's just, yeah, give this Counterblast 1 and discard 3, and this card is perfect. It's actually really close to being a really good card, despite how ridiculous it's on paper. I like it a lot. Do you got a comment on this, Nebs? Understood, buddy. Phantom Revenger, Mordred Mirage. Great name. Excellent name. I like this. Power 11. Okay. So we've got Strider numbers. Auto Van Circle. When this unit is placed, or when your G unit stride, we're a GZ Strider. Call up to 1 grade 2 or lower card from your desk to rear circle. Why, yes, I call it from the editor's desk to rear circle. And that unit gets 3k power to end of turn. If you call it a unit with Revenger in its card name, draw and retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Okay. This should Soul Blast or CB for that. If you call it a card and have no face-up cards in your G-Zone with Revenger in its original card name. So it counterblasts initially. But then after you do like a G flip and it's like turn 4 or whatever, then it doesn't need to counterblast anymore. That's actually fascinating. I do like that. Act from the heart. Act as a heart. Ooh. Once per turn, retire one of your rear guards. Oh, just one. Choose up to 2 cards for your drop zone for every face-up card in your G zone plus 1. Return them to the deck and shuffle it. If you return 5 or more cards, soul charge, retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Good. Because you are decking out like a mother effer at this rate because of that guy up there. Auto on Van Circle, once per turn. You retire 3 or more rear guards with Revenger in its card name. Charge. Get rid of this effect. I like countercharge as much as you do. How about this? Soul Blast 2, countercharge 1. Deal? Deal.
No.
So, okay. I see the next thing is a Fenrir. This dude just... I love this dude so much. I love all the choices he's making so far. But, okay. So, the 2 Revengers. This thing right here, pretty cool. A little bit sad it lost the ping damage flavor that Dragula was known for. I mean, I know the other stride did, but the other stride's an abomination anyway. So, I feel like we could have done something with the ping here, but that's just a, creative freedom thing. As far as an attacker goes, I like it. It multis, it gets a lot of van pressure. It feels like something that you would just play in raging form. You would just play 4 of this and never turn back. Straight up. It really do be like that though. So I dig it well enough. This Mordred Phantom is really neat. Yeah, you have to deal with Strider numbers, but I mean, this, who cares? Just play the Strider. It's definitely better than playing the other Mordred, even though it's a V series card. And the fact that it has this hard effect to shuffle, it definitely addresses the prompt very well. Overall, really cool card design. Maybe a little bit over the top, but I think relative to what premium's at, yeah, it's good. Okay. Deceptive Beast of Mythic Chains Fenrir. Cool. Strider numbers again. Revelation Van Circle. Ah, yeah, baby. Now we can use all those cards to say, if your Vanguard has the Revelation ability, yes, now it can apply to Fenrir. Auto Van Circle. When your G unit stride, soul charge up to 3. Choose up to 1 card from your soul and call to rear circle. If your G unit has the Revelation ability, change the effect of all of your unit's Revelation abilities to when this unit is placed, check the top 2 cards of your deck, send up to 2 cards from among them to your soul, and put the rest on the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Dude, this is better than this is better than Hellsky Beast. It turns Ishtar into Hellsky Beast. Holy crap. That's crazy.
I only have one question for God. Why?
Oh yeah, you talking about the Mario thing where like he has the little block up there stuck in the trees. Why? Auto and heart. So this seems to be a theme. When you send a card in your soul, choose one of your units, and that unit gets +2k until end of turn. Cool. Frenzied Beast that destroys fetters and chains Fenrir. A bit long, but epic. Okay, Revelation. Yes. Which, now, Revelation is top 2, but up to 2 in the soul. Neat. And, oh, you also bot deck. You could also bot deck. That's crazy. I almost skipped over that part. For you guys watching this video, I've been recently on a G kick, and so I've been going through a progressional series with some of my playgroup through G, and right now I'm in Stride Gate. And one of my favorite decks is Fenrir. I have been doing so much Revelation Fenrir BS, and I'm absolutely enamored with the whole strategy. So it's really fresh in my mind how the deck goes. Auto Advance Circle. When your card is put in your soul, all of your units in the front row get +2k power. Okay. It was put to the effect of your card with the Relation ability. The power increases changed to 4,000 power instead. All right. You can build up huge power. Cool. Get some Taros and Soul. Get multi-attacks. Fine. Act Van once per turn. Soul Blast 2 and choose a face-down card from your G-Zone face up. Soul Charge 3. Choose a card from your soul and call it to rear. Oh, that's interesting. You actually go soul neutral on that effect. So it's only once per turn too, and you go soul neutral, but you are building an extra 6k power. Not bad. Auto generation break 2. So this is dissuading you from making the first stride, apparently. Unless you G-guard. Counterblast 1, discard a card from hand. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, call up to 1 card from your soul to rear circle and soul charge 2. So you discard for the call, for the multi-attack, and you get to soul charge, which means you get to... Wow. Compared to the ridiculousness of Drag Ruler up there, this actually feels very correct, man. I mean, even you probably have to admit, Nabs, this is a good stride. This is a good, well-kiltered stride that is purely involved in what Revelation's supposed to accomplish. This, I like this.
I'm not the Revelation player, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. This is probably second to the Desire Devil for best designed card of the night. I think this is incredible. And not because it's busted. I think it's incredible because the guy understood the prompts. Okay. Divine Beauty, Amaruda. Okay. Strider stuff. Revelation 2. Oh, wherever this place, including Guardian Circle, Revelation 2. All right, it's time to play Quintet Walls and call this off top 5 in Revelation 2. Auto Van Circle. When this unit is placed or when you G unit stride, you soul charge 2 and draw a card. If 2 or more cards of the Revelation ability were put in your... If you have 2 or more cards in the Revelation ability in your soul, you countercharge 1. Wow, that's free. Auto Heart. All of your unit's Revelation ability changes to Revelation 2. So, this is Hellsky Beast Fenrir.
Wow.
Okay, I mean, that's so funny. Auto on Van Circle. Call a card from your hand to rear circle. At the beginning of your turn, you may pay the cost. You do draw a card, counter... This is... That's so free. This is so free. Everything about this card is free and easy. Oh, it's too good. Oh man, this is just it's literally just get 2 soul, countercharge 2, draw a card, mythical Hellsky Beast all turn every turn. What the hell? Okay. Beauty. This is his last one. Whew. Beauty that reaches beyond the stars, Amaruda. Okay, so I get it. 3 Striders and 3 Stride Evolutions. Well, yeah, I guess Dragon Lord discounts a Stride Evolution for Mordred in a way. Revelation Rear Circle or Van Circle. It'd be so weird if it's Rear Circle. Second skill. Auto Van. When your rear guard rests to the card with the Revelation ability, stand it, and that unit gets +3 key power to... Revelation doesn't have a consequence anymore. Actually, you build even more power every time you put a card in the soul. Oh my god. Counterblast 1. Choose up to 2 cards on your rear circle and activate their Revelation abilities.
Wow. It just doesn't end, does it?
No, it doesn't. There's
doesn't
2
end.
more effects, Buster. Here we go. This pain train doesn't stop here. Continuous on Van Circle Generation Break 3. When a card enters or leaves the soul. Ooh, I think that's one of the only times I've ever seen that kind of clause. This unit gets auto Vanguard Circle. All of your units in your front row get plus 10,000 power until end of turn. Okay. So this is weird a little bit differently. Does this mean that he meant it to be all the front row gets 1k like every time, like a whole like soulless demagogue type of thing? Because if so, then you could have just done this. Could have done like that and just leave it like that. Otherwise, if you just want the 1k no matter how many you put, then you would just make it continuous. If a card has entered or left the soul this turn, all the units front row go. Anyway, that's nitpicky. Final effect. Auto Vanguard Circle Soul Blast 8. Alright, now this is Amaruda stuff. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, choose up to all 2 cards from hand to different rear circle. Front row. And this unit gets critical in end of turn. And you also get Revelation some more in the meantime. What's Hellsky Beast? He's not a stride anymore, apparently. Damn. Damn. You know, I was about to say, oh yeah, well, I mean, Hellsky Beast doesn't force you to rest, right? Unlike these, you know, you don't have to rest with it when you put stuff in the soul. I direct you to Amaruda.
Fenrir who? Fenrir who?
Fenrir who? God,
Bruh.
I swear, this is literally just Fenrir being cool and then Amaruda saying, that's the neat part. I'm cooler.
Oh, you're Daniel? Oh, you're Daniel? I'm the cooler
Daniel. Man, that's funny as frick. It's really cool concepts. I think it's a little bit too easy though, which I get it if you're trying to make Revelation more accessible, but I feel like you don't really have to. You know, if you want to be the Fenrir loot person, or if you wanted to be the really Pog Amaruda person, you have to think for your plays. You have to have IQ, homie. So I like it when they did have appropriate costs and conditions to measure out a person's ability to properly combo and tempo for the game. This is a bit easy, but I do like some concepts here. Like the Revelation 2 is really nice. Reprocking Revelation abilities is also really cool. I do like those kind of ideas. So there's a lot of good stuff here. Although, really, I think the prime thing is the Fenrir Stride. The Fenrir Stride feels the coolest and most appropriate. So I think this is the winner out of the bunch, which is so weird because he had Revengers here. And I'm not automatically sipping on them, even though they are pretty good. So yeah, RPG Master, very well done, man. I really like these a lot. A little bit overboard, but then again, this is premium, so they're allowed to be that. I want this to be, a cauliflower to be our final foray of the night. Or is this it? Shall we save it for next time?
I have never been more beaten down by custom cards. Ever. Ever. Not even the Liberator stuff got this bad for
the
me.
Liberator stuff. Oh man, I don't know about that, but I mean there has some cool stuff. There's also some really dumb stuff, but yeah, we've had an interesting bag here. I do like the creative direction of things like the Desire Devil. The Fenrir stuff was really nice. I think that the Vampire Knight things could also have a really cool concept. I have to play test that though to figure out. So, all right, you know what? To spare the sanity of Nabs, we're going to leave part 1 here for now. We got through a fair bit of cards, and it's a decent chuck into it. There's a lot of content to go through, so expect a lot more of these videos on the way. And further along down the road, then some custom card battles I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And if you did like this kind of content, then I've got lots of other custom card videos that were made from previous custom card seasons that you can go check out, see the creative juices flowing from the old days. And if that doesn't fit your fancy, then we've also got lots of other ideas. Top 10s, tier lists, fight videos, the whole shebang. So go ahead and check it out in my channel down below, and turn on the notification bell and leave a subscribe for the next time I upload a video. And with that, take care. God bless.
See you next time.